Alrighty. So now that you have learned how to decompose, you've learned about unit fractions, word problems, adding and subtracting, the last step is to convert, which means change. So let's write change. To convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. So I know that's a lot of math vocabulary again, but let's talk about what those things are. Okay, a mixed number just means, like, think about when you mix up a soda, like at Swig, you mix different parts, okay? So a mixed number has some whole number parts and it has a fraction, okay? So for example, if I had 2 cookies and a fourth of a cookie, I would have 2 and 1/4. So I'd have 1, 1, and then 1/4, just like that. And that creates a mixed number, okay? An improper fraction is a fraction where the denominator is how many pieces are in a whole. So you can see here, you've got 4 pieces, right? But improper, the top number is bigger, makes it bigger than a whole. So for example, here we have, I'm gonna count how many fourths I have, okay? So I have 1, 2, and it would be good for you to follow along with me. We're labeling how many fourths, and remember your teacher might check how if your paper matches mine. So 3/4, 4/4. So we know 4/4 makes 1 whole. Let's keep counting. 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 1 whole, there's 1 whole, and then we have number 9, okay? So remember, your denominator is how many pieces are in a whole. Your top number is how many you're talking about. So with an improper fraction, you have 9/4. It's just a fraction greater than a whole. That's all that means. And this does happen in real life, but we usually will call it something like this. So today you're going to learn how to convert or change mixed numbers into improper fractions, okay? So here are your steps, okay? So it says skip count by wholes as far as you can. Don't go too far. So you don't want to go past, okay? And you'll understand what that means. Determine what fraction you have left over after you have taken out the wholes. Count your wholes and keep the partial or leftover. Let's write that. Okay? So for example, if I have 2 wholes, the first thing we're going to do is skip count by wholes. So 1 whole would be 6/6, okay? 2 wholes, we're gonna have 6 more 6s, okay? Then, so there is your wholes. So you could just like skip count in your head, but I'm gonna do it here. 6 wholes plus 6 wholes. And then you have to figure out what fraction you have left, okay? So that's your 2 wholes. And then here, you've got 5 left. So plus 5, 6. So you would have 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 5 more is 17 sixths. Okay? So this is the improper fraction, and this is the mixed number, and these two are equivalent. 17 sixths is the same as 2 and 5 sixths because we took the 2. Here they are, 1, 2. Okay? Let's try the next one. So first, we are going to do 3 wholes, okay? And our denominator now is fourths. So we're gonna work with fourths. So if I have 1 whole, that makes 4/4. Okay? Another whole, it's gonna be 4 more fourths, which could also be 8/4. They're the same thing. And then a third whole, 4 more fourths. So now I'm going to take that 4/4 and add it to my 8/4, which is 12/4, okay? So 4, 8, 12, that's our 3 wholes. Now what do I have left? I have 3/4, so that equals 12/4. So 12/4 is the 3 wholes, okay? And then I'm going to add my 3, because I can't leave this part out, okay? So plus 3/4, and that leaves me with 15/4. So this is the improper, this is the mixed number, and they're equivalent. We just switched, okay? All right, let's go to the other side. So this one it says draw models to write each mixed number as an improper fraction. So we have 1 whole and we have 3/4. So the first thing that I'm going to do when I have to draw a model for mixed numbers is I'm going to make, here's my 1 whole, and then if I have any fractions next to it, because it's a mixed number, I'm going to make another whole that's the same for the size, okay? Now I look at my denominator of the fraction. My denominator is 4, so I'm going to split it into 4ths. And then I have, it says to write the mixed number. So first, remember over here, what we were doing is we were taking the wholes first. So this time, and we were getting that fraction, right? So over here, we have 1 whole. So let's go ahead. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, because this is the 1 whole. So I'm going to put that up above nice and small. Do you see that? It's 1 whole. And then now we need to do 3/4. So I'm going to only count 3 of them. So 5, 6, 7. I'm not counting this because I needed 3, not 4. Okay? So that means that 1 3/4 is equivalent to 7/4. So here's the mixed number. Here's our improper fraction, and then this is just our model, and you can see here is 1 complete whole, and then this is 3/4, and we didn't count this one because we only had 3/4. 1, 2, 3, and that's the 4th piece, okay? All right, draw models to write each mixed number. We're gonna do that again, but this time we have 2 1/2. So I'm gonna do my 2, okay? And remember last time, I still have a fraction over here, so I'm gonna draw a 3rd block, okay? Because I have to be able to show that part, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead, my denominator is 2, so I'm gonna break each of my models into 2 because they all should have the same denominator, okay? And now I'm gonna count how many halves, how many of these do I have? So I have 1, 2, that's our first whole number, 3, 4, it's our second whole number because we had 2. And then I need 1/2, so I'm only gonna count 1 of them. So that means I have 5 halves, okay? Here is your mixed number. Here is your improper fraction, okay? And that's it, okay? All right, so this is, now we're going to go ahead, so we can also multiply the denominator by the whole number. So here we have 3. 4 times 3 is 12, okay? So we're multiplying. This is step 1 right here. You can label like see the 1? You can put a 1 right here to show that, okay? Sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't see this. Okay, so multiply the denominator by the whole number. So 4 times 3 is 12. Then you add the numerator. So the 12, so this number right here, I'm just gonna put a plus because that's what I'm adding. So then you go 12 plus 1 equals 13. And then you keep the denominator the same, so 13/3, okay? These are just, all you're seeing here, if you look right here, this is repeated addition, this is multiplication. So we're kind of like taking it from why, we wanted you to understand why you're multiplying, okay? So again, this is your mixed number, this is your improper, and they are equivalent, okay? Let's do it now. So first step, multiply. So we're gonna do 5 times 2 equals 10, okay? We're gonna add the numerator, 10 plus 2 equals 12. So here's the 2 that we added. So 12 is our numerator, and then we keep the denominator the same. So here's our mixed number. I'm gonna say that every time, but I wanna make sure we understand that vocabulary. And here is our improper fraction because it's greater than a whole, okay? Here we go, 1 2/8. So we're gonna go 8 times 1 is 8. Then 1 times 2, not times, blah, don't listen to that, plus 2. So let's do 8 plus 2 is 10. And then our denominator will stay the same, so that is eighths. So here's your improper fraction, here's your mixed number, and they're equivalent. So this right here is just, when we do this, we're converting it, we're changing it from a mixed number to an improper fraction, okay? 3 and 4 sixths. 6 times 3 is 18. We got to add the 4. That's 22. And then we keep our denominator the same, 22 sixths. 5 times 1 is 5. And then, so we did our multiplication. We're going to add the 1, get 6. And then our denominator stays the same. So we've got our mixed number, our improper, okay? 3 times 5 is 15. No, not times 5. Oy. 3 times 6 is 18. Sorry, friends. Because we're multiplying our whole number times our denominator, okay? And by the way, if I started multiplying and you're like, Mrs. Baines, what are you doing? Then you can go back and do it the other way, and I'll show you that in just a second. So 18, and then we got to do 18 plus 5 equals 23, and that gives us 23 sixths. So you still could do it, if you look at this one, you still could do it with the adding method. So we have 1 in one whole, there is 10 tenths. So we're going to go 10 tenths plus 6 tenths. So this 10 tenths that I created, think about it, 1 times 10 is 10. And then here's your 6. So this is this part, and this is this part, equals 16 tenths. Okay? All right, so let's go back to our multiplying method, but if this is easier for you, you can just do it that way too. So 2 times 4 is 8. So we've got 8 plus 1. And then our denominator is 2, 9 halves. Okay? So that is switching back and forth between mixed numbers. And if you're a little bit stuck, then just make sure when you switch to your practice or your boom cards that you keep this out. And just remember, this is strategy 1. And this is just, and it's repeated addition. And then this one is your multiplication strategy. And really, they both get us to the same place, but it's just what works for you. We want you to do whatever is correct, okay? Oh, and up here you have a model. All right.